Hi, so this is going to be a quick one. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how to configure a very simple VIP priority level experience in your Amazon Connect or in your contact center. Now, this came in as a request from one of my subscribers. There are multiple ways of doing this. This is one of the key ways, or this is one of the most common ways you can see. And this pattern fits into most of the use cases you will see. You just have to iterate over it. So the first thing you need to understand is this. If you are building a VIP experience for any industry or any customer or any client, what you need to understand is, how do I determine if this person coming in, right, is a VIP caller or not? That is the first decision tree you need to make. As part of this experience, I have this simple contact flow, which I've already pre-configured. That I'll walk you through. It's very simple. The code that supports this will be in the GitHub repo attached to the link. You can check that out and then implement it yourself. But as I was saying, the first component you are looking at is, how do I identify if this caller or this customer is a VIP customer? For most contact centers or for most experiences you are going to be building, you realize that they will have their own database or their own data store where you are going to fetch that decision from, right? So you put the customer information and then you make that decision. For those that are using Amazon Connect, there are newer features in Connect like customer profiles. So for contact centers that use customer profile, you can pick those attributes from customer profile. It wouldn't be that different. The only difference is going to be this. It's going to be how you are fetching it. But for most use cases, what you are going to do is that inside your contact flow, we are going to get that details. And to get that details, in this case, I'm using something we call a Lambda function, right? So inside my flow, I'm calling invoke a Lambda block, and then I have a Lambda function connect VIP lookup. All that this Lambda function does is this. It goes into a database, in your case, your data store, and then based on the phone number, right, it gets us a particular customer's details. So in this case, I have a database and I have this customer in there. So I have a database and I have this customer in there. So what my invoke Lambda does is that it calls this Lambda function, and the Lambda function, based off the phone number the person called with, right, it will look into our database and then it will get us the details. So this is the details that we get. So in this case, I'm getting the tier, I'm getting the customer name, I'm getting the account type, the assigned CMS. This is just some random stuff I came up with. So inside our flow, we call a Lambda, and then your Lambda function will return a certain information to you. In this case, this is what I'm returning. So now inside my contact flow, I'm checking the tier, right? This is coming in as an external value. Remember, in one of the previous videos, I explained that the only time you use external is that when you're invoking a Lambda function that is giving you a result. So depending on the tier, I'm checking a condition that if the tier is a platinum tier, you should go this route. If it's a gold tier, if it doesn't match anything, I'm routing them to a standard queue or a default queue, which I'm saying this means that the person is non-VIP caller, so they are going through the normal route. But if they are VIP caller and then the condition passes this, then let's have this. There are multiple ways through which you can have the VIP experience, but I've tried my best to group them and then so that I can easily talk you guys through. So as you build, you can iterate it the way you want it. The first one is to use, say, what I have for my current platinum route. So if the person is a platinum caller, what I'm doing is that I'm setting a couple of attributes, right? User defined attributes. So this is the external the customer name, which is coming in from a Lambda function again. And then I'm doing assigned CMS, the value that's coming in from my database, that's some random values. So once I do that, I'm setting a priority. This is an optional thing that you can add. But where the trick is this. Now, up until this point, I've been able to identify that the person is a VIP caller. This person is not just a regular VIP caller, but also a platinum user, right? So what I want to do is that for platinum users, I want to route them to a specific agent. So, or a specific group of agents. So what I can do is to bring in this set routing criteria block. And in the set routing criteria block, what I'm doing is that there are two ways you can configure it. It's either I assign them a preferred agent or a pre routing based on a predefined attribute. The first one I'm doing is I'm using the preferred agent route. So what this means is that you come in, you have your queue. Once we get that you are a VIP caller, we are picking that up, and then we are routing you to this specific groups of agents, right? Or this group of agents. So these are dedicated agents that have created that, oh, these guys are only going to be assigned to callers that are coming in from VIP callers, not just regular VIP callers, but platinum callers, right? So that's what is going in. So all that you are doing is that you come in, we are calling a Lambda, which is helping us make our decision whether you're a VIP caller or not. And then I'm setting queue priority. That is some routing profile configuration. And based off that, I set the queue that I want them to go to. So in this case, per your case, you can have multiple queues. So this could be a VIP queue. And then you route them to that. And then you transfer them to the preferred agent. That is if you have specific agent that you want them to handle those category of users. Again, the other route is what I implemented for the gold route. So if the person is a gold, very similar, setting my own queue priority, goes to the same queue. And I'm doing this instead of using what I did initially. Now I'm using a predefined attribute, right? So this one allows me to map this thing to agents of certain proficiencies and certain attributes. So all that I did for this configuration is that I created a predefined attribute called VIP handling, and then it has these values. And then for my agents, right? For an agent, what I'm doing in here is that, say for this particular agent, that's Kobna admin, I've set this predefined attribute to be its proficiency, that if there is a VIP caller coming in, right, which I've defined the attribute as VIP handling, and the value is, say, 4, I want to set the proficiency level for that particular case to be 1. So now in my flow, again, you can adjust this however you want it and make certain changes to this. So in my flow, what I'm doing is that the routing criteria for this VIP caller is that, oh, I want agents, right, who have their predefined attributes of value this, and then they have the proficiency level of this. So if it's 1 or more or something, you set it to be able to answer this particular caller. So in this case, what you're doing is that you are not allowing your VIP callers to go through the same queue. You are somehow controlling the group of individuals that can answer or respond to these particular persons or these particular individuals. So this is how you can, this is some of the ways that you can configure your VIP experience. The most important component of all these things is this: how you determine whether someone is a VIP caller or not. In fact, in certain instances, you don't even need all these criteria routing and all that. You don't need them. Someone could have easily done this and then have a dedicated queue for just VIP callers. So what that means is that if the person is a platinum person, I'm just setting a working queue. So that queue is going to be just dedicated for platinum users. And then I transfer to my queue and this will work fine. So the most crucial bits of all these builders to have your source. How do I identify if the person is a VIP caller or not? That is the most important bit of this entire build. The rest is me trying to show you some of the capabilities of Connect based on routing criteria and a whole range of stuff. In this case, I'm able to route to a specific agent, set up steps, and do some fancy stuff. So this is just in response to a question in the comment section. Thank you so much. If you like this video or you have any further questions, drop them in the comment section, and then I'll definitely do all to create a video to respond to you. Thank you so much for watching, and then let's meet in another video.